Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Elden Ring, and today I want to talk about another awesome weapon combo. One of those ones where you take a really cool weapon, combine it with a few select items, talisman, flasks, things like that, and it results in some fun, pretty damaging and potent combinations. And today's focus is on Ghiza's wheel. This is a weapon that, honestly, I think it is hella cool. It's basically like a pizza cutter, only instead of serving up a nice tasty double pepperoni pizza, it serves up death. Bloody death, basically. This thing is brutal, and if you combine it with the right things, then it can actually do some disgusting damage. So in this video, I want to go through exactly what that is. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this weapon. Let me know if you are using it, if you have used it, if you're thinking of picking it up following this video, and of course don't forget to keep it locked for plenty more Elden Ring. So, first things first, as a reminder, Ghiza's wheel is a colossal weapon, so of course, following the most recent patch, this is definitely much more viable. It has a strength requirement of 28, a dex requirement of 18, and it has balanced scaling in strength and dex. It is also a unique weapon, so you will not be changing any affinities on this, nor will you be swapping out the Ashes of War, but it does come with a special Ash of War called Spinning Wheel. If you strike the wheel against the ground, you set it up spinning at top speed. You can then hold down the button to keep the wheel spinning, and it can be used whilst walking to push the armament into enemies. So basically, you walk forward with this spinning blade of destruction. However, it is worth noting, the most important thing about this weapon is not actually that move. It is quite tempting, but in truth, it's a little bit slow to set up. If you sort of see in certain situations, it is kind of nice, but it does leave you pretty vulnerable. And also, more importantly, if you're setting up this attack animation and you get hit, you will get knocked out of it. So while it is nice, it is not exactly the most viable option. However, more importantly, if you perform some of the charged heavy attacks, then this will also result in the blade spinning. It does not apply if you use the simple light attacks, but if you do use the heavy attacks, this will result in the blade spinning. It's also worth noting, if you two-hand it, then the heavy attack is more horizontal. Meanwhile, if you one-hand it, the heavy attack is more vertical. And for the purpose of this, the vertical attack is generally speaking more reliable, so that is what we're going to be leaning towards. Now, of course, if you want to make this potent, you want to spec into strength and dex, but what you then want to do is pair it with a few select items. First things first, in your mixed physic, I would highly recommend throwing in two specific items, the first of which is the Thorny Cracked Tear. This is the same thing we've used for Marai's Executioner's Sword, because this will temporarily boost successive attack power. So it is very, very nice. And if you want to, you can also throw in another one of your choosing. I've thrown in the Cerulean Hidden Tear because this eliminates all FP consumption for a brief period of time, and if you then do decide to use the spinning wheel sort of special weapon move, admittedly again, as I said, it's not exactly the focus for this one, but if you do decide to use it, then it will of course allow you to spin for longer. So if you can set it up in a nice situation, it could be kind of useful. But honestly, the main thing here is the Thorny Cracked Tear. That is the primary thing we need. On top of that, you're then going to want to pair this with a few select items. You'll want the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia, of course the talisman that greatly raises attack power with successive attacks, and this also stacks nicely with Millicent's Prosthesis, which also boosts dexterity and raises attack power with successive attacks. Those two items stack. In addition to this, if you take the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, this will make it so that successive attacks restore HP, so not only do you have the ability to do some nice damage, you also have some regenerative power in the process. And of course, on top of this, because the Ghiza's wheel has blood loss build-up, we can also benefit from the Lord of Blood's Exaltation talisman, which will also increase attack power when blood loss is in the vicinity. So with this, when you get that bleed proc, we're also getting a nice boost to damage. Furthermore, if you then want to take it up a notch, you can also grab the White Mask. Again, typical bleed build setup. The White Mask also boosts damage when blood loss is in the vicinity, stacking with the talisman. So altogether, we have a very nice potent combo where when you pop your flask and you drink that, and you then have that combination of talisman, we're then able to do some nasty damage, heal ourselves in the process, and gain additional damage when the bleed procs. Again, as mentioned, your focus here should really be on using your heavy charged single-handed attack because we get that nice vertical slice. Again, if you do go with the wide slice, it does still do good damage, but depending on what you're fighting, sometimes you'll miss a lot of your hits. So generally speaking, the vertical attack is your most reliable. If there are the occasional situations where you do have a massive opening, it doesn't really happen a lot to be honest, but you can still get away with using the special weapon skill. But honestly, you can just simply go around, charge up a nice heavy attack. It does of course have a second hit as part of the combo, and you can then see the enemy health bars disappear. So this is a very nice combo. Now, of course, as a quick reminder, I have gone through where to get most of these items in previous videos, but specifically for Ghiza's wheel at least, if you guys haven't got this, then this is obtained in Volcano Manor. The first time you enter the manor, you will then be able to go through from the Site of Grace, run up the staircase, and you'll then come into this large grand dining room. Upon entering, there will then be a summon. There will be somebody that invades you, and you'll need to defeat him because he's using this very weapon. Take him out, and that will then be your weapon. So that's where you get it in case you guys have not picked it up. But other than that, that is pretty much it. That's a little rundown on the nice Pizza Cutter of Doom combination. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you've missed any of our recent ones, be sure to check out one of these ones linked on screen and keep it locked for plenty more Elden Ring.